Hello and welcome to our first debate at Mackenzie Tamboré, featuring the juniors class of 2022. The resolution for our debate today is: the United States should prioritize the production of nuclear power plants over other forms of renewable energy generation. To start the debate, we are going to toss a coin. And first I want to know which side you're standing for.
I'll choose heads.
Okay. Okay, it's heads. What do you want?
We'd like to start.
Okay. You want to stand pro or against?
We want to stand against the resolution, please.
Okay. Arguing in favor of the resolution are Sofia Bastos and Vitor Luigi Alves. Arguing against the resolution are Pedro Bruno and Gabriela Ferreira. So we can start.
Thank you. I stand in affirmation of the resolution that the United States should prioritize nuclear energy over other forms of renewable energy. Nuclear energy is a clean, long-term, and reliable source of energy that will help to reduce negative impacts caused on Earth by energy production, such as high carbon emissions, deforestation, and water pollution. According to the World Nuclear Organization, 13 countries in 2020 produced at least 1/4 of their electricity from nuclear power. And France, for example, gets 70% of their electricity from nuclear power too. And because of that, their per capita carbon emissions is 3 times smaller than what the United States produces. According to the Nuclear Energy Institute, across the United States, 92 nuclear reactors power millions of homes and anchor local communities. Contrary to popular belief, nuclear accidents are very unlikely to happen and altogether cause far fewer deaths than fossil fuels, for example. As reported by the Climate Science Organization, coal causes 24.6 deaths per terawatt produced, while nuclear energy causes 0.07 deaths per terawatt produced. Also, fossil fuels harms equity as it creates a type of cartel such as OPEC, and harms country sovereignty as many countries get very dependent on fossil fuels providers. For example, Europe that's very dependent on Russia's gas. Therefore, if countries had their own nuclear power plants inside their countries, they would be more independent, they would be able to protect their population and aim for a sustainable world. Thank you.
As we've seen with fossil fuels, there are many consequences on focusing on only one type of fuel and energy source, such as cartels like OPEC, which further rise the price of fuels and therefore energy. Aside from, if the country gets cut off from that type of energy production, there will be a lot of consequences, such as leaving the country in necessity of energy. Therefore, the US should not focus on only one type of energy, but it should spread its focus on many other types of energy, such as renewables. Renewables are widely available to many, and they are the sun, the wind, the earth. Those are the 3 types of renewable energy that are widely available. And they don't require a lot of personnel to operate, in contrast to nuclear energy, which requires a lot of people to work in the power plants, and those people need to know a lot about nuclear energy. According to a manual for the economic evaluation of energy efficiency and renewable energy technologies by the National Renewable Research Lab, renewables provide great modularity, versatile availability, low fuel costs, and high incentives. And even though efficiency might not be that good, it is a non-issue since the fuel costs low or even zero, and therefore it is a step towards equity. That way, we won't be hurt by the consequences of only one type of energy production. One example of consequences is the Goiânia cesium accident here in Brazil that occurred. It is regarding cesium-137, and it harmed a lot of people who, most of them died because of the incident, and the environment was also severely harmed. And therefore, if you care about the environment, please consider this. Thank you.
Actually, just exactly because we care for the environment, I'm wondering, why do you think we should not prioritize nuclear energy if it's been proven that it's the most clean, sustainable, and reliable form of energy nowadays?
The environment, there can be leakages and a lot of accidents, and you call that saving the environment?
First of all, if nuclear fuel lasts for at least 90 years, so after it runs out, we have special and safe places to store them in. We build barrels to store them in with special material to store that type of waste, that specific type of waste, and we put them in pools to prevent any leakage. There are also professionals who go there with frequency to report if there are any problems.
Human errors, as well as technological errors, are bound to happen. What if there's a small leakage, even though once? What are the disastrous consequences that might happen if there...
Time's up, guys. That's enough. Thank you.
So, according to the Office of Nuclear Energy of the United States government, nowadays a traditional fission power plant has an efficiency of about 35%, which is comparable to the efficiency of fossil power plants. However, nuclear power plants need refueling after 1 year and a half, making them 2 times more efficient than a coal power plant. Adding to this, more modern reactors such as the 4th generation ones reach an efficiency greater than 45%, thus being the most efficient form of electric generation without substantial emissions. So it's the most efficient, and like solar power panels has an efficiency of only near 20%, which is very low according to the University of Michigan. In addition, according to an article published by research from the Laboratory of Plasma Physics at the Royal Military University of Belgium, a new way of generating energy through nuclear means is fusion. The fusion is more stable and has been tested in several prototypes called tokamaks, and it's the same process that occurs in a star's core. According to the researchers, this method is safer, since the neutral reaction is different from that of fission, avoiding accidents like Chernobyl or Fukushima. Furthermore, according to them, the future generated reaction would be hydrogen, which is the most abundant element in the universe, so it would be very cheap. Adding to this, research from the European Institute of Physics believes that fusion reactors can supply the global energy demand, including that of countries that emit greenhouse gases and undeveloped countries. So, with this technology, we can solve the problem of climate issue without reducing the efficiency and the quantity produced. Which is in contrast to what would happen if the world prioritized other types of energy that would produce less with less efficient too. Thank you.
So, they say that USA should prioritize the production of nuclear power plants over the form of clean energy generation. But I disagree. I believe that the United States should invest in green energy for many reasons. One of which is that nuclear energy makes people terrified, and some nuclear accidents around the world have caused the death and illness of 1,000 people. An example of fear was in Fukushima disaster. Some people got sick because of nuclear energy radiation, and a lot were forced to move instantly. In Chernobyl, 24,000 people were exposed to radiation, causing the death of 16,000 people. Also, according to Intergerman.com, contaminating the Irish Sea, the Baltic Sea, and the North Sea. This is directly related with the increase of cases of leukemia in this region. The waste of nuclear energy releases a substance called plutonium. This substance causes a genetic anomaly in the cells that increase the cases of cancer. So based on these accidents, research and anti-nuclear movement, the implantation of more nuclear power plants is not possible because of general fear about nuclear power. Even Germany is withdrawing all their investment in nuclear energy and is redirecting their investment into clean energy. Also, the implantation of nuclear power plants impacts the economy because of its high investment, plus the fact that nearby properties in plant region tend to decrease in value. In 2011, Japan's economy became paralyzed for 2 weeks after Fukushima nuclear accident, which directly affect their GDP. They stopped for 2 weeks because people were terrified. This impacts the population, which makes nuclear energy more unpopular. Therefore, the investment in renewable energy has 95% of population approval, and in the last 10 years, the clean energy has improved their efficiency by 80%, which makes the cost benefits worth. And the energy is clean, so people didn't get sick because of it. Thank you.
So I have a question to you, like, what should we do, like, if it's a cloudy day without the sun or a day without the wind blowing?
So the new technologies are able to provide energy for some days with a cloudy day or without all day without wind. I have another question to you. Why don't we choose another clean energy to invest in?
Because another clean energy sources has a efficiency lower than the nuclear power plant, so we should prioritize what is more efficient. So I have another question. According to research by the physics world, there's a problem when you are storing like the energy produced by renewable sources. What should you do?
So we have already modern power batteries that are able to reward this energy, the solar energy. I have a question to you. The nuclear technology is complex. Can this raise the risk of accidents?
No, because like I said, like the new technology, which is fusion, it has a different neutron reaction, which will like prevent accidents like Chernobyl.
That's enough, guys. That's time.
Okay. So, as discussed today, the U.S. should prioritize nuclear energy over other forms of energy because, as me and my partner stated, nuclear energy is the most clean, sustainable, reliable, efficient form of energy nowadays, and also is a great provider of independency and sovereignty inside countries. So we're thinking about our future generations. They need a world to live in, so we have to think about our present actions. So we're thinking about the future. Nuclear energy is the future itself. Thank you.
We stand against prioritizing only one type of energy. Aside from being bound to the consequences of only one type of energy source, if we use renewables as a complementary source to nuclear energy, we would reduce cartels such as OPEC and future cartels that could be generated from nuclear energy. We could reduce leakage of nuclear waste. We could prevent fear from the population. We could reduce diseases that could happen, and we could even reduce the contamination of the environment. If you want to keep these issues to a bare minimum, please consider all of the facts that were presented to you. Thank you.
So how will you know that this technology will be shared?
The Inter project, which is making the fusion nuclear reactors, but they are globally owned, so it's an international effort, so everyone has access to it.
So how can we be sure we can supply all of the energy demand only with low efficiency renewable sources?
As if some part of a energy source gets a lot of energy, it can sell energy to another part that does not get a lot of energy, and therefore they will get money. With that money, when it's low on energy, it can buy more energy, and therefore you can keep the balance between all of the places that use renewable energy. And I have a question for you. How can you keep leakage to a bare minimum with nuclear waste?
As I said before, we have safe places to store them, and we're thinking about the environment. We only want to help the environment and the future generations. Future generations in the world to live in, but how can you do that? How can they live if they don't have a place to do so?
How you can expect a new generation if you are terrified people by the way that the energy works with nuclear power?
Like people need to work, people need to go to school, and for this they need electricity. So the most reliable source is the nuclear energy. So
You can. Please.
Continue.
Asking Miss Simbayol, Sophie and I have presented solid and cohesive arguments about nuclear energy, such as the efficiency of nuclear power plants, the need of nuclear fusion for the future, the less emission by nuclear power plants, and the low number of deaths by terawatt produced by nuclear power plants. We hope then, with this fundamental information, that it will be possible to understand the need to prioritize the production of nuclear energy to replace the fossil metrics of the United States of America. We wait then and ask you to please vote affirmative for the resolution. Thank you.
Me and Pedro have talked about how nuclear energy will be used as a complementary source to renewable energy to reduce cartels leakage and environmental contamination. The risk of contamination by nuclear energy waste and how this causes disease, and also how this affects the economy. By this, we proved with solid and credible arguments that it's better to prioritize another clean energy instead of prioritize nuclear energy. So, please vote against the resolution to make it a cleaner and healthy world. Thank you.
So, I was very impressed with the knowledge and obvious research from both teams. It is my belief that the arguments made by the team arguing in the affirmative were slightly stronger, with excellent use of statistics. I would like to congratulate all four participants for an informative, interesting, and competitive debate. As such, I declare that the resolution that the United States should prioritize the production of nuclear power plants over other forms of renewable energy generation has been affirmed. Congratulations.